and welcome to another episode of Miriam the Librarian Reviews. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about New Year, New You. So if you're interested in finding out how to eat healthy, learn about your body, and how to recharge for the new year, stick around. So for the first book that we're going to review, it's called How to Change: The Science of Getting from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. This book is by Katie Milkman. Now this book is really interesting. It talks about several of the things that people mostly want to change in their lives. First of all, it starts with getting started, what you need to get started to make that change. And some of the things that it does touch on are impulsivity, procrastination, laziness, confidence, conformity. So those are things that you think that you would like to change or learn more about or maybe do differently. This would be the book for you. What I really liked about this book too is after each chapter you have chapter takeaways, which are a real good way to reflect on what you had read in that chapter. I'll read a little excerpt on one of the chapter takeaways. This one is conformity. A chapter takeaway is, when you're facing self-doubt or uncertainty about how to proceed, a powerful way the people around you can help boost your capacity and confidence is by showing you what's possible. So little things like that in this book make it a really good book. It's very inspirational and it'll help you kind of get through what you would need to do to overcome some of those things. I also found this very good because it really reflects over all parts of your life, your personal life, your work life. So once again, How to Change by Katie Milkman. It's a great read and we have them here at the Riverside Public Library. So for the next book I'm going to review, it's called Science of Strength Training. This book is by Austin Current, and it's a book about exercise, but not your regular exercise book. It actually goes behind the scenes on what you're strengthening when you're working out. So in the book, it has several diagrams and pictures of people working out, figures, and it tells you what part of the muscle is actually being worked when you do that strength training. Also, it talks about supplements and what supplements you should take, a post-workout regimen, and the mechanics of each of the movements that you're making while you're doing the exercise. I really like this book because there's a section that talks about brain-based benefits, and I'm just going to read off a few that stood out to me, and I thought they're really incredible because I feel like if you do exercise, these things are probably going to help boost your brain and what you're thinking. So one of them was improves concentration. Another one says staves off dementia because it raised the levels of certain chemicals in your brain. It also protects against depression, it lifts your mood, and alleviates stress and anxiety. A lot of these we kind of already know, but if you want to learn more about them, I would say look at Science of Strength Training by Austin Current. We have this available at the Riverside Public Library, and you can really get into the details of why strength training is so important and what it actually does to the body as a whole. So we talked about outer fitness and strength training and the brain and what it does for you. Now we're going to talk about a book that talks about inner strength training, more like strength training your soul and your behaviors and what you're thinking. So I have a book here by Tina Lifford. This book is called Little Book of Big Lies, A Journey into Inner Fitness. This book was really interesting. It talks about how to train your brain in thinking things that you think are true, but they're really lies, and to bring the truth out. One of the things that she did have on each chapter is this thing called inner fitness practice, and she goes through the first thing, which is the big lie, whatever is in your mind, and then the truth, and then the possibility, and then try this. So there's like exercises you can do to help you start thinking a different way. Also, at the end of the book, she does have quite a few inspirational quotes. I'll read some of them here now. There is no greater purpose than to engage the journey back to yourself, and the inner self is real and can step to anything that happens in life. Some of the things she also talks about is confidence and what I can't really means, quote, what I can't, if you say I can't do this or I can't do that, what that really means and how to explore that. So the Little Book of Big Lies is a very introspective book. It will really help you discover your inner self and help you practice in getting stronger and making amends on what you feel are conflicting in your life or moving forward. So just as strength training is a physical practice and inner workings, we have this inner fitness, which would be helping our brain and trying to really regulate how we're thinking. And they kind of go hand in hand. So these two books would be really good, especially if you want to start a new beginning with the new year. So a few other books that I'm going to touch on have to do with the same theme of improving yourself, improving your inner self, or just learning about your body. The next book is called Good to Go by Christy Ashwaubenon. She is a sports writer and she's interviewed many athletes. This book basically has to do with how athletes recover. She even goes into very famous athletes such as Simone Biles and Tom Brady and the kind of pajamas he wears so that he could heal faster. So this book is kind of funny and it's also true, lots of factual things in here that have to do with athletes and how they recover and how recovering and your body is really important so that you could go on to that next step. Once again, this book is called Good to Go. The next book is called The Medicine Book. The medicine book basically has to do with how medicine works in your body and the different kind of therapies that they have and the different kind of medicines they have right now that are being developed. It talks about how the microbes work in your body and how we can get stronger by either taking medicines or supplements. So this one is called The Medicine Book. The final book that I wanted to talk about is called The Anti-Inflammatory Kitchen Cookbook. This book was really interesting because it talks about different cooking methods to help with different kind of ailments such as headaches, IBS, or any other inflammatory conditions that you may have. The Anti-Inflammatory Kitchen Cookbook has lots of pictures and the recipes are pretty much straightforward. This one would be really good if you're looking to cook in a different way for the new year that's maybe more simple and clean to help any issues that you may have. So once again, thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Miriam the Librarian Reviews. We have all these books that can help you get started with the new year, new you. And of course, please visit us at our eCloud library. I will put the link below. Also, our ebooks that are available through our catalog and Hoopla. Hoopla has tons of fitness videos and tons of kitchen cookbooks that you could use to learn different recipes, and I really hope you enjoy those. So once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye, friends.